Thanks everyone for tuning in. Today we're sitting down with the founder of Onelivery, Adriano Gonçalves. Onelivery has made it a part of their mission to make it accessible for retailers to refine that last mile delivery for their customers while having a positive impact on CO2 emissions and the environment. Adriano, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Thanks for your time and thanks for inviting me to be here.
Absolutely. So, first of all, let's start with for those people listening that don't know who you are, how would you introduce yourself?
Um, yeah, my name is Adriano Gonçalves, and I was born in Brazil, and I'm the founder of One Delivery UK. And the reason why we exist is to help local retailers to deliver their goods fast whilst reducing the impact in the environment. So I've worked for more than 10 years in the technology industry, doing consultancy, helping big corporations solve complex IT problems. So I think that running a startup and doing what we do, it's a great way to transition and then to help out uh, local retailers that are struggling out there, that they don't have access to technology or the resources to compete with the big players online. And that's what I mainly do. I focus my energy and my knowledge, my skills to help them out.
Okay. So, for someone listening to this who's never heard of One Livery,
Yeah.
in the simplest of terms, what does One Livery do and how does it work?
Yeah, so OneLivery is a SaaS platform. It's a marketplace for retailers to sell their goods online and deliver fast to the local community, to online shoppers. And we do that by using e-bikes. We created a powerful algorithm to help last mile delivery services. And we've done that for the past 3 years, delivering goods for the community, retail, and also we are helping out hospitals and delivering a great deal of prescriptions for pharmacies as well.
So, for someone that's a potential consumer,
Yeah,
explain how that journey works. So, let's just say I'm a patient that is looking for medication or I need medication.
yeah,
How would One Livery's system
yeah.
integrate with the provider for that medication? And then how would I be able to use that to get what I need as my medication?
Yeah, sure. So basically, one livery, we have a B2B model and we have a B2C model. So your pharmacy, it will be associated with our last mile delivery service. So our contracts are with the pharmacies and the businesses directly. So we deliver for NHS pharmacies, we deliver for hospitals. There's two trustees that we deliver in London, and as a consumer, you will have to be serviced by one of our clients, which are the pharmacies or the businesses. For the retail side, so it's almost like it's a two-side market. On the retail side, for online buyers, you go to our marketplace, you see the stores that you want to buy your goods. And once you do the purchase, we take care of collecting the items from the retailers and bringing the items to your doorstep within the hour.
So in that scenario, if I'm an online buyer and I'm looking on the One Livery kind of platform to see where I could go and buy my goods from,
Yeah.
is that available for me to go and purchase goods from any store, or does it have to be a store that's also linked with One Livery as well?
Yeah, so for the online products, the online stores that are available in our marketplace, you can buy directly from our website. So those are stores that are available to the public, and we deliver to 50 major districts in London. And also for stores that are not within our marketplace, you can also place an order and have your goods delivered with us, with one of our couriers.
How and why did you come up with this idea?
It's a very good question. And basically, during my MBA experience, we've noticed that I've noticed that carbon emissions is one of I truly believe in carbon emissions and the impact that it's causing on Earth. And I was thinking about to build a solution to reduce the impact, to reduce carbon emissions. And if you look into that, if you look why that happens, the transportation sector is the third biggest contributor of carbon emissions in the environment. And then if you start looking into it, commercial transportation system is one of the biggest causes of carbon emissions, and last mile delivery service is the most complex and the most expensive part of the supply chain. So we want to. I did a project at the university as part of the MBA, and we realized there's a huge gap in the market. So um, we want to fill in that gap. We want to put it this way: carbon emissions caused by e-commerce logistics are expected to hit 25 million tons of CO2 by 2030, and there's no one in the market doing helping committed to deliver their goods sustainably. So Onelivery exists to bring the mile fast to online consumers without having the impact in the environment.
Okay, a couple of things I want to go through there. First
Yeah.
one is for people listening to this that maybe have never heard the term last mile delivery. What, how would you define what last mile delivery is for a company, and why is it beneficial for a company to be able to make their last mile delivery more efficient?
Yeah. So last mile delivery is basically the mile before is the outbound journey from the retailer to the consumer themselves. So it's essentially is the last part of the supply chain. So you have like an e-commerce, you have the inbound transportation, you have the warehousing transportation, and then the transportation that goes to the retailers. So the last mile delivery is when it goes to the consumers, is the last point of contact from the retail to consumers themselves. So we bring that we bring that service to retailers that don't have access to resources. So we take care of as many orders as they have. If they have 50 orders 1 week, we'll have enough people to fulfill those 50 orders. If they have 100 orders, if they triple the number of orders, they don't have to worry about stuff. And then we can make sure that those goods are transported to their end users as soon as possible, so that they can continue focus on what they do best.
Why is last mile delivery so expensive in the supply chain?
Yeah, there's a number of factors that derives the surge and also the price. I guess like a lot of that comes to the volume of orders that retailers uh, last mile delivery service basically uh, companies doing last mile. I'll put it this way: um, it's very unstructured. What like last mile delivery service in the environment, and labor. It's quite labor heavily type of service, and labor in the UK is quite expensive as well. Then and that's one of the reasons why last mile delivery service is it's complex and costly for retailers.
Now, one of the things that I've noticed, just kind of being able to observe what's happening when it comes to deliveries and stuff like that, because I think you'd agree that some of the biggest platforms that do last mile delivery are places like Amazon, and Deliveroo is another good example as well. How is Onelivery different to the other solutions that are available out there on the market, and how is it breaking into that market as with a USP?
Yeah. So Onelivery, it's committed to sustainability. We're dedicated to prescription delivery service. We build a track and trace software that enable retailers to track and trace every item they dispense without adding any overheads to their capacity or teams. And also, we are for the locals. We work with independent retailers, and we bring we build a algorithm that is 40% more efficient than our closest competitors, and we price ourselves about 25% on average cheaper than our closest competitors.
So my first question is, how do you manage to price yourself so competitively in a market that you've developed tech and software for? Because even when you say, you've got the ability to track and trace every single one of these products, that sounds like it takes up a lot of time, effort, energy to actually build the software that's able to do that. How do you make it cost effective for businesses to be a part of One Livery and to be able to utilize the software?
Yeah, we are a group of software engineers and techies. So that's essentially the core of our company. So it's funny to say that because a lot of customers, a lot of clients that work with us, they think that we're only a delivery solution, and we are much more than that. So it's more about the powerful algorithm that we created to optimize e-bike delivery service. So we've created a solution specifically for e-bikes. So we've imported electric bicycles from Holland, and we work with the local partners to source those e-bikes, and we build a customly built software specifically for delivering with e-bikes in urban environments. And this is the thing that, one, it helps us to go through the city faster. I mean, you'll be impressed by how much faster it is to ride a bicycle in London than drive with a car or moped.
I have no doubt.
Yes, um, it's one of the things that I only realized that when I start the company, and I was the first rider in the business, so I rode about 5,500 miles in the first 6 months,
Oh my gosh.
helping out retailers to deliver their goods every day.
Is that how you got proof of concept?
Yeah, yeah. So that's how we started. So we put the software, and that's a funny story behind that because when we started the company and as a software engineer, and we are so naive thinking about we'll put the software there, we'll crash the market, and it's going to go viral and everything. And I remember the first day we had no orders, so nothing happened. And we worked relentlessly to make the product available, and we were so excited, so positive about it. And um, I remember the first day when we put our solution available to the public, there was no orders coming in, and we're like, why is this not? Why is nobody ordering? And then it comes. I think it's a bit of um, you being naive, thinking about that all you need is a bit of technology that works and help other consumers out there, because we were really positive about the software behind the solution. And and that was what happened. We put our solution available to the public. Day one, no orders came through. We thought that the system was broken. Something happened, that no one was ordering. But then we realized that, hey, we need to bring traffic to the website. We need to let people know, and then I started going out to get our first customers. So
Talk to me about that journey then. So talk to me about how you managed to convince your first customers that this was a platform and this was a technology that was worth having for them in their business.
yeah, that was the very early stage, and in our company, basically, I'll start visiting retailers locally just around the block, and just to have a feeling of how you guys transporting your goods and how you doing that. And it was just basically it was during lockdown, and a lot of these retailers, most of them, they either stopped doing services, or the ones that are doing were mainly pharmacies that are transporting PCR tests to laboratories. And because of the demand, you would, if you remember, like lockdown time, you had like hundreds of people like outside pharmacies, or even when they put the restrictions for you to travel, you need to have like a test
Yeah.
before to show in the at the airports. And then orders just went up the roof. Like we start visiting those retailers, and especially pharmacies at that time, and they were like, oh, we have so many PCR tests. Can you take that to the lab for me, please? And then I would jump on my bike, and they were so like, oh yeah, sure, you need to place an order, and here's the website and everything. And that's how we start getting our first customers.
What was that like for you to go from being a software engineer to becoming a bike delivery person to prove the concept of your company and your business?
Very interesting then, because yeah, the first couple of weeks, it was it's very exciting to you to see like the the journey, like from the moment that you put a product available in the market, and people start using that. And then we realized how much more is to be done as people start using our services, and I start doing the deliveries myself. So um, one, it's that I learned a lot about the efficiency of e-bikes, the the impact that we were making. I had a vision in terms of where this is going, and how I want to contribute to the um, retailers out there. So they would tell me very often, like, hey, can you do this on the website? And can you do that? And a lot of things, like when we first started our website, it was just like a very basic product. We had like deliveries from A to B. That's pretty much everything what you could do. But then we start, well, backwards a little bit, the cycling journey. I mean, I want to touch a bit on that, because I've discovered a lot of places in London that I've never imagined to pass by. And um, like knowing the places, cycling through London, I would be cycling about anywhere between 8 to 12 hours a day throughout London, and it's just amazing, like how much we have in London to discover and to experience. And I think like it's one thing that everyone should try. And also because I've just graduated from my MBA program, so I was quite chubby, and and it was amazing to see like how cycling put me back in shape, and I felt great. It was an amazing experience.
Love that. I might have to join you on the team just to get myself back into a better health standing.
Yeah.
But no, I completely agree with the side of how much there is to discover when you're on a bike as well. Because when I used to cycle a lot, I actually discovered the canal that goes from Paddington all the way up to Uxbridge, I think it is, in northwest London. And you can actually cycle along the entire thing, which I would never have even considered if I wasn't on a bike and decided to take a random turning to go and see what was there and discover that it was the path down to the canal.
Yeah.
And followed it all the way into London, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, it is amazing. There's so many beautiful places for you to cycle in London, and more often than not, I'll be finding myself taking pictures and appreciating like the whole landscape, what London can bring to you, and also discovering new places. Because when you go from A to B, You just want to get the fastest route, and then you just go there, and you don't care about anything else. It's almost like autopilot. You jump in your car, your bike, your vehicle, get on the train, the underground, and you just go to your destination. However, delivering to retailers and experiencing new places and cycling throughout London, it's just amazing. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, so how has that evolved for you since you started doing the deliveries? What did doing the deliveries teach you about the business and how you've actually refined it since then?
Yeah, that's very interesting because I remember when we start doing the PCR deliveries, it's pretty much like a one-to-one relationship. You collect here and you drop off that. And I think that the very early stage, I used to have a pen and paper and I would take note because customers, they start asking us, like, oh, can you do this? And can you do that? So incredibly speaking, we stumble into prescription delivery service, and we didn't think of that. We didn't think that we could help retailers or pharmacies delivering the prescriptions fast. And I remember going around the block, and a lot of pharmacies, they had problems with the drivers. They like reliability, people not turning up, and most of them, I would say like 3 in 5 that would approach, they would say like, "Oh, we need riders. We need someone to help. We do have riders, but we need someone to help out to cover up when our rider is sick and or when it's on holiday and things like that. So like, can you help us out in that case?" And it was like, yeah, sure. Like, just reach out and contact us, and then I'll be happy to help out. At that time, it was only myself on customer support, so anyone that calls, anyone that sends a WhatsApp message is all coming to the one rider in the company. And it was funny then because um, I had to be available for everyone at all times and continue doing the deliveries. So I remember the time that customer would call us, but I would be cycling doing orders, and then at that time I had to answer the phone, but I was cycling, so it was like sometimes it was like raining and things. So I bought myself like a pair of Bluetooth headsets, and then I was cycling with them like 10 hours a day and answering calls for customers. So I think like for us, when we stumble into this, we start um, uh, uh, building features that are relevant to our customers, and that was one of the things that I think that it really took off, especially on the prescription delivery service that we enable those retailers. A funny story is that you will not imagine how many pharmacies and retailers they would send prescriptions delivery, and everything would be done on paper. And a funny story is that there was one of these customers we had, and they had like files and files of papers that they would give to the riders, and they would come back to say like which ones they delivered. Everyone will be written down and everything. And that's the same way that I was delivering for them. I was adapting to that environment until the point that we built the track and trace. I was like, hey, there's a huge space here. I think like we can add a great deal of value to you guys, and we start building this tool to enable them to track everything what they dispense from the pharmacy, and also to be able to uh, dispense critical items, fridge items. So everything what they have is in that control from the moment that we go out from the pharmacies in specific. And in addition to that, pharmacists, they have a great problem with the calls from patients to say like, hey, where's my delivery? Where's my prescription? And together with that, we put like a time slot, like they can like there's an order status page that they can see exactly who are we delivering, what time we're delivering, and who's the next person in the order of delivery. That helps them a lot. So helps pharmacists to save time. So from that point onwards, when we made that system available, a lot of pharmacies, they were just referring us to other pharmacies, and that's how we start growing and expanding to other places.
So you started off as a eco-friendly delivery solution for hospitals during COVID or for the PCR tests that were going out.
Yeah,
And then you ended up building a software that tracks and traces pharmacies' prescriptions delivery for patients to make it more efficient from the paper format that they were using.
that's correct. Yeah. So and it's definitely something that you won't realize how much time and effort. And another thing as well is how unstructured the last mile prescription delivery is. And what we help these pharmacists to do is really to structure last mile and save them time and money behind the counter by centralizing all the information for the patients. We have a tool that shows how many deliveries they've done to specific patients, and also they get like a picture for the goods that are returned to that pharmacies, and this helped them a lot to save time and effort going up and down and going through papers, seeing who was delivered, who was not, and that's one of the reasons why we've been referred to other pharmacies, and we've been helping out a number of retailers out there.
Sounds amazing. Now, one of the things that you mentioned earlier, which I'm really curious about, is you said that you custom created software
Yeah.
to integrate into the bikes that you were importing from Holland. How does that software work and how does it integrate to the bike and what has it helped you achieve as part of the company?
So basically, we build a powerful algorithm to optimize cycling route delivery services, and because the electric bikes, they can. So this is an interesting thing about e-bikes out there. So e-bikes, they exist. A lot of people like I met on the road, or I was talking about e-bikes, and this is the time that e-bikes were just about to become popular. It was like 4 years ago. And people would see us on the street and they would think like, oh, this is like e-bikes for lazy people. But essentially it's not. It's just to help you to continue to be optimal throughout your journey. So the software is completely bespoke to e-bike delivery service, and we optimize the routes basically done for e-bikes. So, for example, if you would have a car delivery service, like a traditional delivery service in the UK, would you probably use like a car, a van, or a vehicle. So the distance from one point to another, it would be, let's say, if you go from here to, let's say, Westfield, for example, it will take you about, I don't know, 7 miles to get to Westfield. And whereas if you would go with an e-bike, the distance between the 2 points is much shorter because you can actually use shortcuts, cross through parks, and do cycling routes to do your delivery. So we use Google Maps APIs to help out to optimize these delivery points, to optimize the distance between one delivery to another. I don't know how much technical you wanted me to go to. I'm just trying to stay here really on a very high level because I come from a technical background. So I start talking about Google Maps API, the address location, the
Well, let's do you know what? Let's now that you said that, I'm even more curious.
yeah.
So let's talk about what that actually does. Like what have you guys created, or rather what have you created that has really helped you refine and shorten that delivery distance for someone that's going to be doing a delivery under one livery?
Yeah. So basically, if you for every order that we do, and I was talking about this to one of my colleagues, is a founder of a sustainable delivery company as well, and I was explaining him how our software works, and basically for every delivery you do, for every drop off you add in a particular order, the system calculates the permutations of, based on these points over here and the location A and B, what's the most optimal delivery route that I could do to complete this order or to complete these drop-offs. And we calculate, I'll give you an example. For an order that has roughly 10 deliveries, 10 drop-offs, the system calculates 3.1 million different routes in a fraction of a second to optimize the journey for that particular order. And then no human would be able to do that. And this is one of the beauty of our system, because we can give to any person that is doing orders, any riders that are just starting to work with us, and they will be able to press a button in a fraction of seconds. They will be able to see, based on these postcodes that I have to go, this is the most optimal route that I can deliver these items, and they just need to follow that one postcode at a time. So that's what the system is doing in the background.
That is fascinating. That is unbelievable. And so this is what you guys have created that integrates into your own software, which allows your deliveries to be that much more efficient.
Yeah. Basically, it's a mathematical calculation that runs through all the permutations that you do for each one of the orders. So it calculates the routes. Basically, there's a mathematical expression term for that, and I'm just trying to remember this. There's Yeah. So basically, what the system does, if you have 5 deliveries, it would check all the points, like what happened if I start with delivery 5 and I go to 4, 3, or 1. What happens if I start with delivery 4 and I go to 5, 3, 2, and 1? And it does that for every single drop off in seconds, and then the computer brings back again the most optimal route based on where you want to start to where you want to finish that particular delivery. Wow. And that's how we managed to become 40% more efficient than our closest competitors. And it's not me particularly saying that. This is basically when I was doing deliveries, I would talk to everyone on the street, and lots of times I would see like this, the time that they were still available in the UK, like Getir, gorillas, and delivery riders, and all of the gig economy riders up and down the streets of London. So I would talk to all of them and say like, how's it going? How is it working with your company and everything else? And the majority of them, I would ask them like, on the busiest hour, how many deliveries do you can actually complete in your company? And the average number was between 4 and 6
per hour.
That's what like I get here. That was the super fast grocery delivery service. They would be able to complete in an hour. They'll say like, some of them they'll go like, in a very busy hour, probably do like 6 deliveries or 7 deliveries like in 1 hour. That's really busy, and that's the highest number that I got. For us, the average number of deliveries we do per hour is about 10, and that's a really relaxed pace. So I've managed to do 17 deliveries in an hour with this system already.
17 deliveries in an hour, because your software calculated the most efficient route for you to get from A to Z, in this case, with all your drop-offs in between.
That's correct, yeah. And if you know what you're doing, this is like 10 deliveries per hour. If you don't know what you're doing, if you still need to find the places and everything else, if you know what you're doing, I know riders today that they easily double that number. and very efficient. They're very well known of the area they're delivering for, and you can even if you're good at what you do, you can even double that number easily. But the average delivery rate for us, the average delivery number um, for our riders, about 10 deliveries per hour.
Now, considering how some riders get paid in certain companies, obviously, if you are able to do more deliveries, then you're able to fulfill more orders, essentially, which means, does that impact a rider's ability to get paid more as well?
This is one thing that we were very strict about our model and the compensation to our riders, and it's a very important question because this is one of the things that we thought early in the days that for a person that is delivering faster, why would they have to earn less? Because the system makes them to do things faster. The system is essentially more efficient than anything else available in the market out there. So we thought about how can we compensate, how can we reward these riders that are delivering every day for us, and in fact they more efficient. So basically, we have bonus scenarios, and we have something that is called the efficiency of the rider, the efficiency of the e-bikes, and we use that to measure if a rider is doing the work as the expected delivery time, as the standard of the efficiency of each riders, and then we compensate them by paying a higher hourly rate for that, so they don't feel like they're being punished or they don't feel like they're missing on something
For doing it faster and
for
in less
doing it
time.
faster.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and this is the thing then, and it's a very important mindset that I try to bring to the riders, especially hiring early age in the company. It's just the idea to say that you don't have to go slower to make more money because you know we are seeing the work that you're doing and customers are seeing that as well. So the faster you go, don't think about money or don't think about uh, you're going to earn less or you're going to be penalized for that and other riders are taking longer, they can make more money because we see these like we have a team that looks into the efficiency of each bike and how many orders we're doing, how many hours it is taken, and then based on that, we reward these riders on a monthly basis during holidays, and they get gifts. We give Amazon gifts to our riders as well, then for the work they're doing, and that's the sort of culture that we want to bring and create in the company.
That is such a refreshing approach to hear because normally you hear when someone's really efficient, for example, in a typical 9 to 5 environment, just because they're super efficient doesn't mean that they get to spend less time. They are almost forced to spend a certain number of hours at a desk to deliver a certain service, or because they're employed under certain time schedules within their career. So, um, in that case, people maybe get trained to not be as efficient, to make work drag out longer to fulfill the day. So, to hear that that's your approach and you actually reward the efficiency side of things is unbelievable. And I'm sure that the team and the staff are quite appreciative of it.
Yeah, yeah, and also for our riders, they get perks. They can sign up to health insurance coverage. We have holiday payments for the riders, and it's all based on they can access these perks. It's all based on how efficient they've become and how many deliveries they do. So we want to reward those people and we want to keep them in the company and make sure they feel that they are valued and make sure that they feel they are important for us because um, contrary to the many of the courier delivery companies out there, they 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 are not riders delivering every day. They're not hired by the company directly, so they are essentially self-employed and working for themselves. We hire our riders, and we want them to be part of the company. We want them to feel how important the mission that we are trying to accomplish. We want to make them part of the journey and to grow with us. And I think that's very important, and to reward them, the people that are helping us to get there, reward them accordingly based on the effort that they bring to the table every day.
I love that. How important has it been for you, do you think, with the trajectory of the business, for you to be the first rider for the company?
It's a very interesting question. So, yeah, basically, I think like for you to a great leader, uh, a great leader is a leader that can lead by example. And if you develop something, put it this way, if I would create the software and put it out there and let other people do the work, and I would stay in the office and do nothing and just see like at the end of the day how many deliveries we've done, what's the efficiency, I would never have learned so much from our customers. I would have never learned so much about the bikes, the problems that we have on the road delivering every day. When it rains, how much it slows you down, to have that empathy to all the riders that are doing that nowadays. Like today, the day started raining, and the very first thing that I did was to talk to the team, like, take your time, safety comes first, and um, let customers know that it's going to be a slower day than usual because the rain does slow us down. We ride on e-bikes, cars, they can't see they can see us. It's quite dangerous to stay out there and delivering every day, especially during rush hours. So the visibility diminishes, and you can only know that if you do that. If you don't do it, there's no way of understanding the environment, the circumstances, and another thing. This is one side of it: the day to day deliveries, cycling, the problems on the bikes, what happens, the punctures, what you get, how you resolve them, how long it takes. These are all the things that we managed uh, I've experienced, and I managed to build in the software, and have some sort of uh, uh, let's say um, boundaries. I wouldn't say boundaries, but have some sort of accountability for those sort of scenarios. And more importantly, is really to see what your customers need. You being there, doing the work every day, your customers, they will talk to you. They will say the problems they're having, the issues they're facing. And that's how we managed to build our second version of our solution to pharmacies to really track and trace everything that goes out from the establishment to have everything in their hands so they can focus on what is important for them. And the track and trace came from feedback from our customers, and that's how we built the solution for them. So yeah, a lot of things that you learn that you would never learn working from the office.
Definitely sounds like it, and spoken like a true leader for sure. Adriano, to finish off today, I have one final question for you, which is, from your perspective, what is the vision for One Livery?
Um, one livery is One livery exists to reduce carbon emissions, and by doing so, we want to bring the opportunity to local retailers and businesses to sell online, and deliver their goods fast, CO2 free. So our vision is to enable retailers around the world to sell their goods online and have it delivered without no upfront costs. And this is one thing that we're really proud of it. So as a as a business owner, in the UK, there's about 300,000 independent retailers delivering goods, selling online, and selling to the community locally. The majority of these retailers, they're not available online. They don't sell online. We want to enable these people. So put it this way: if you're a retailer, um, if you're the owner of a store, you have an amazing product, you're really good at what you do, but you don't know anything about selling online. You don't have access to the technology. You don't know about marketing, bringing traffic to your website. And nevertheless, once you made the sale, once you sell to someone online, there's the 24 hours expectation for their buyer to receive your goods. And they don't know how to manage all of that. And it can become quite overwhelming for you to look after this. We take all this burden from the retail's hand, and we do the technology. We source their websites, and we source the resources to bring your goods fast to online buyers. So we want to enable these people to capitalize on the e-commerce boom and service online buyers locally, CO2 free.
And did you say that you do all of that with no upfront cost?
Yeah, that's right. And this is when you believe in your product. So um, we believe that we can add a great deal of value to these retailers. And we're so positive, we're so optimistic about that it will bring you, it will add value to those retailers. That if we do not make money, if you don't make money with our solution, you don't have to pay anything. We don't make money. But if you sell, we both win. You win as a retailer because you're reaching out to consumers online, and it's a market that you didn't tap before. And then if you did, most likely you would be doing next day deliveries, 24 hours, 48 hours delivery. We bring that service by the hour to your consumers. And if we don't do that, you don't pay a penny.
Adriano, excellent start to this series, and I'm really looking forward to getting deeper into this as well. But thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that everyone listening is starting to really pay attention to Onelivery and what it's being programmed to do.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity to be here. Thanks for your time and appreciate that.